Okay, so this is Quest Complete. I am your lovely host, Deluge, and this is my partner, Benny.
Hello.
Alright, so Monster Hunter Rise.
Oh, shit. It is. Okay, so overall, do you want to start or do you want me to start?
Oh, no, dude, go right ahead.
Okay, so for me, obviously looking forward to Rise as much as I have. Of course, I was giddy and like all of the lovely, overexcitement and like biased happiness like playing it. If I push that aside, the beginning is very, very annoying. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. But
Just
like,
the general tutorial stuff.
yeah, but no, like, it's just the overall feel and like getting into it. And if I had to like generally say my first overall initial opinion, I'd say it's worth getting and it's a ton of fun so far.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed.
But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how the Monster Hunter team does it. They seem to outdo themselves every single time they bring out something new. And it's never surprising, but at the same time, it's always very surprising.
Yeah, you have the faith in them, but you don't expect them to keep one-upping themselves in such amazing ways.
Absolutely.
No, yeah, it's almost like they play it themselves. They want a fun game to play.
Right?
You know?
Don't you just love it when the developers make things that not only their fans enjoy, but they enjoy?
Yeah, right. No, it's been a blast. I definitely could get more single player time in, I'll say that. I've been playing more multiplayer just because everybody's on.
I know exactly what you mean. Well, it's the same way in GU. It's just like, why would you do village stuff when you could just hop in a hub and monster around with other people?
Yeah, no. Thankfully, though, how that stuff works is a lot more seamless. So it just feels like you could jump in and do whatever. It doesn't really matter. So it's really easy to pick up and play too.
No, it is really nice.
I even got to play it in the car the other day.
Oh, do tell about that. How is the portability of it?
Oh, it was fine. It was a little too sunny though, so that sucked.
Yeah, that's always an issue I have with those smaller screens. There's just the brightness just doesn't auto adjust.
Right. But yeah, how about you? What are your overall impressions so far from what you've played? Obviously, we haven't beaten the game yet.
Right.
We don't want to yet.
It's really solid. I'm actually very surprised what they brought to the table. Especially with the switch axe. I know everybody's always harping on about, oh, this weapon's the best it's ever been. No, this weapon's the best it's ever been. But I feel like switch axe really got the best end of it. With the way you're able to morph so seamlessly, you don't have to like follow through with an attack anymore like you did in World and get stuck in that awkward switching animation. The fact that you also get a switch skill that keeps your slash gauge charged, it's just like, do you want to never run out of slash gauge? Here you go. It's fantastic and I like it a lot.
Yeah, but there's a lot of checks and balances with switch axe, which is good too.
That is also true.
Yeah, I don't think any weapon got a short end of the stick, honestly.
I know people were talking about how Insect Glaive got shafted, but like, you've been playing a little bit of Glaive. How's that been going for you?
I didn't expect them to just plop a counter in there. It's not a counter. Counters do big damage. If a counter leads into if there is an attack that is triggered by the enemy's attack, that counts as a counter. Even if it's not like one of those flashy ones where there's particles and it does like 300 damage. No, if it leads into a combo through you reacting to a monster's attack, that counts, and that's a counter. And I think it's really cool.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It's like that water blow thing with Hammer. Super funky and strange, but like I'm really starting to like it, especially when you're able like to land it.
But no, yeah. Anyway, that's for later.
That's for
ahead of ourselves. But do you want to start on your like first impressions, like how you did with the tutorials, how you felt with like the first 3 ranks? The first 3 ranks is a really quick thing.
Honestly, I didn't have too much trouble. Like, it was mostly just like I picked up Greatsword and I was just like, alright, let's unga bunga it. So, and then I think once I got like a decent switch axe, I just kind of monstered around with switch axe. First 3 stars went super quick this time around. Like, in 4 Ultimate, I remember like taking good 2 weeks just to get the Village 4-star. This time around, it took me like maybe a couple of days. It was definitely really quick.
Yeah, No, there's not a ton of content in early, in like the first 3 ranks. It's kind of quick. It's got good things to do though. Like there is good content, but there's not a ton of content overall. It's a little.
It's just a
rough,
bit. It's just a bit light.
Yeah.
But I mean, it starts to pick up on the later half when you get to like, later stars in Village, which most monster hunters tend to do. Is the first 3 stars are just like, yeah, gathering, that's nice. And then you're just like, oh hey, look, it's a fucking Azuchi, and I can actually make stuff out of him. Let's do it.
Yeah, no, I spent a whole 4 hours on just Great Azuchi, and then I moved on because it's just like I wanted his charge blade. I think I wanted his hammer. But I wanted like all this shit. I did like the lance, even though it's a little weird. Banner design looks neat. And I am.
No, I like that he's a raw monster with high affinity, with decent slots. Definitely fits the bill perfectly for Azuchi.
Right, Shank Boy got good shit.
Yes.
But no, yeah, I have similar feelings. For me, it was really fun. I feel like they did a lot of fun factor with the early monsters. Like their combos are fun to react to. They're not too easy. They have stuff that can catch you if you're being stupid. So you're not just going through the low ranks being like, okay, time to get to high rank so I could be challenged. Yeah, everything dies pretty fast, but I feel like it's not about the time in low rank, it's more about the monster. If that makes sense.
That does.
Because if the monster is just a nothing monster, then there's no difficulty.
Yeah, and that also like feeds into the gear progression. It's just like, okay, this monster was easy, and its gear isn't that great. And then you fight something else that's perhaps a bit harder. You're just like, oh, its gear is actually really good. Maybe I should get after that.
That also differ person to person, because some people find Zinogre really easy, and I find him a nightmare. So
That is true. That's true. And some people really like Tigrex, and I just don't understand him at all.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah. But no, like for the fun and like the charm of the game, oh my god, the characters, the music, how all of the interaction with the world. Like I love the smithy guy, love the buddy guy. Yomogi is adorable. And Noto is is it Hinoa and Minoto? Yeah, Minoto.
Yeah.
Minoto is best girl. Like, just oh my god. And then just the cahoots and like all the interactivity. I mean, I wish they didn't hold your hand so harshly in the beginning to where you can barely even do a quest yet. And when you do a quest, it has to be with Utsuchi and he has to pull you through everything. Hopefully in the next game, Capcom can decide that, hey, maybe we'll do like an optional tutorial for people who are new and want to like relearn the basics, or so yeah, at least that's how I feel.
And I gotta admit, like the village this time around, I don't think I've had so much fun just wandering around the village. Like I like that you can move the camera and everything's super close, and being able to wire bug and just hop around. Super nice.
Oh yeah, and I figured out how to use the Kahoot and send him at things.
Oh.
You have to be at a certain distance, and there will be a red arrow that pops up on top of the spot you send him to.
Okay.
Like there's another Kahoot that your Kahoot has a crush on,
oh.
and you can like send it to sit with it, and they like kind of like snuggle for a minute. It's real cute.
Yeah, it's adorable. I like that a lot.
You can also have it bug Utsuchi on the roof, so that always makes me laugh.
I did see that. Alright, do we want to switch into talking more about the gameplay?
Yeah. You want to start us out?
Absolutely. I feel like people have said this before, it feels really fast, and it is really fast, but there's still that deliberateness to it. I know, sometimes I find myself going at a monster so hard, it's just like, wait a minute, I actually need to stop and calculate something. Just because you can just keep wire falling. I feel like that's probably like one of the biggest hurdles, I think, especially for new players, is that they continuously wire fall and it screws them over, like, really hard.
Yeah, like I've wired fall back into the same combo a couple times.
Yeah, or like I'll wire fall out of like an engine like charging at me, and I wire fall back into the charge and I cart because that's a counter hit.
Yeah, no, and like the wire fall definitely is more intended for getting out of combat for a little bit and then moving back in. It's less about pulling yourself back into the combat immediately, unless you took no damage. Then yeah, go ahead.
Or if you're a hammer player, where you can just wirefall into your falling charge.
Yeah, no, that's insane.
It's too much fun, and I wish it was that fun with greatsword, but a lot of times you just end up flopping your greatsword on the floor, like, oh look, I did it.
Hey, it works. I mean, you really don't want to do greatsword charging out of wirefalls in general. That's just kind of a big no-no, at least in my book. You want to do more of you want to just get out, and then if you want to do an aerial attack with the wire bug without counting the hunting wyvern hunt, what is it called?
Hunting edge.
Hunting edge. You could just do the straight up wire bug and then do a jumping charge. But you have to have height to be able to charge. So.
That is true. That is true. Oh, you got
That's kind of how you feel.
At the moment, yeah. That about sums it up.
Fair. For me though, I'd have to say, this is at least in my opinion, the best combat that Monster Hunter's ever had. It's mixed speed with deliberateness, like you said, but it's also allowed complexity without it being too hard to understand. At least at the beginning. Unless you pay too much attention. I know that sounds weird, like paying attention should help you, but in my opinion, Rise shoves a little bit too much information down your throat in the beginning, and it's like, you could do this, you could switch this skill out, you could do this combo with this, or do this and this. It's like, you just need to let someone get their hands on with it and understand the basics of the thing. But the kinesthetic? The kinesthetic learning process of figuring out Monster Hunter is so enjoyable that I think a lot of people are going to get into it through Rise, because it's just really easy to pick up and slam a greatsword onto something. You don't have to know how to do a freaking counter combo where you hit the monster where they're going to put their tail for half a second immediately. That comes later if you want to do that. It's more just about smacking a thing with the thing and then making a number, and then you're like, yeah, it's dead, and stuff like that. And I think Monster Hunter Rise did that super well, and it's been the most fun one to just pick up and play for a little bit.
No, absolutely.
Even if I'm not feeling like playing Lance, where I do all these complicated counter combos and do a bunch of weird shit, I could just pick it up for 2 seconds and be fine. Or play longsword and go numb. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Sword and Shields might just go numb weapon. It's that sliding slash into just aerial, just nonsense, absolute nonsense. It's just fun, and it's addictive, and it's actually really safe on certain monsters. Ridiculously safe.
No, I haven't had a chance to try out Sword and Shield, so I wouldn't know.
I save it, Benny. When you get your hands on it, you don't go back. It's absolute beauty.
Oh, I'm probably gonna go nuts in the in-game with that thing.
Oh, I believe it. Especially considering it actually gets a unique switch skill that actually incentivizes you to use elemental attacks.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, do we want to move on and talk about Hub/Village?
Yeah. You mind if I start with this one?
Not at all. Go ahead.
So, probably one of the things I disliked about GU and 4 Ultimate was that you have the separation, but you can't be in a hub and work on other things at the same time. So that leads you into you either end up really far in hub, and then you're maybe in Village 2-star, even though you sword in hub, and then you go back to Village and you just kind of wipe the floor with everything. Or it leads you to you just solo through Village, and then you get to hub and you're just all these people are super high above me. I'm fighting a Rathalos with 2-star gear. How am I supposed to catch up to these people? But I feel Rise has a really good balance where you can be in a hub, you're I just need one Azuchi belt. I can just go do this Azuchi quest real quick, grab that, head back in to the hub, and not even have to leave the session. And that's especially good considering that they're smaller sessions. There are only 4 people. But it just leads to that. I feel that leads to that cycle of you can do Village and hang out, or you can work on your hub stuff, and it kind of leads into this almost perfect balance of I'm here at Village, I'm here at hub, I'm here at Village, I'm here at hub, and you just kind of it incentivizes you to bounce back and forth rather than just maining one or the other.
Yeah, No, there's definitely more choice involved. But no, for me, I think it's the best the separation's ever been. Because like for when I heard that the village hub separation was coming back, I was so upset. I hated that idea because of how it works in Gen. It makes me feel very separated from people that I usually play with, and just how like it doesn't feel like you can farm stuff together as easily. And then if you're playing offline, well, you just don't get to do hub because I don't know, for some people, they don't want to spend like 30 minutes on a monster who has a ton of extra health, you know?
Right. And especially if it's not a quest you've already completed, so you can't just do the subquest and then get out with your materials.
Mm-hmm. But no, it's just the way they did it with the scaling. It works really well. And then how Village works with just being quick and snappy. It's all right, but I really love how they did low rank. And it's just, oh, it's so good. And it feels good being able to pop in, like you said, and stay in the same session. Like we and you were doing Village stuff in the same session, then we could go in and farm something together in Hub. It was good.
No, it's
good.
really nice. And then you don't have to worry about trying to jump into like another session with people who are trying to farm similar stuff.
Yeah, no, in my opinion, how the general way that you should play, obviously you play the game any way you want, but the general way that I would recommend playing it is unlocking a monster or like doing your key stuff in Village, and then if you play with friends, then you farm that monster you want the gear from in Hub with them. At least that's how I would do it. Obviously, it doesn't work that seamlessly because you have to do key quests in both places, but still, it's whatever.
Right.
You can figure it out over time.
Yeah, and there's always going to be that one guy that's like, let's just keep shooting ahead. Let's not stop and farm this thing we probably need.
Yeah. I do have one little issue. I kind of minded it for Ultimate as well. I don't like that there's credits when you're done with low rank in Village. Air quotes
it feels
done
a
with
bit pompous, doesn't it? Like, oh, look, you've beaten the game, but there's still like 5 more ranks to go, dude.
Not pompous, more like confusing, I guess would be the way to put it. It seems like calling it early, you know? Where it's like you've beaten I get it because you've beaten a story,
right?
But I feel like it could have been less credits and just more of where they are now and like learning stuff. I really do like this story more than World because I think it's less intrusive, and it works well with how the rain. I know, like the progression. Even though, in my opinion, Magnamalo's kind of, I don't know. I mean, without knowing all the stuff in the trailers, you could really come out of that being confused as to what exactly happened. So getting the credits just kind of felt like, I guess I got a conclusion?
It did feel kind of hollow. Like, when the credits rolled in 4 Ultimate, I was just like, I actually did something. I beat, what's his name? I cannot remember that monster's name. Anyway.
Shigeru Magala.
I beat Shigeru Magala. I did it. I'm the greatest. But with this, it was just like, oh, I bopped a Magnamalo on the snoot and it died. I guess that happened. It kind of leaves you feeling empty, you know? Like you didn't get like a real sense of satisfaction out of it. I don't know.
Yeah, and I got a similar feeling with this one, and I had a similar feeling with 4. It was like, I get it. You're saying that this part of the story is done, but you could do that with not credit. I don't know. Credits just feel very I beat the game style thing, where you could like stew on what's happened. But like with how fast Village goes, I like, what do I got to stew on? I've played for like 3 days, you know?
Right.
I mean, I binged the game, but so like most people probably get to it by a week if they played it at a normal human speed. But yeah.
I mean, yeah, I suppose everybody does have their own like separate pacing to how they go at these sorts of games. And I mean, I suppose we're in the higher end of, or higher caliber of Hunter, I suppose, you know, us being intermediates rather than being like beginners.
Yeah, no, Kaijin to put it well, it was we're not speeding through the game, we're binging it. We're just playing it a lot.
Yeah.
So we're not going through and like key quest, move on, key quest, move on, key quest, move on. No, we're just playing it a lot. We're putting a lot of time into it. Like it's only been out, it'll be a week on Friday and it's Wednesday, so about 6 days? Probably 5 days? And we probably put in almost 100 hours. Maybe.
Yeah,
That's
sounds
not
about
math.
right.
That's math.
Yeah. I mean...
So probably close to 70.
Yeah,
that works.
I don't know, does feel like it's gone kind of fast, because with World, at this point, I think I was just getting into high rank after the 6-day mark.
Yeah, let's be real, we kind of bum rushed into high rank.
Yeah, a little bit.
Also, like, everybody was pretty far past us, so we kind of felt like we needed to, if that makes sense.
I don't know, yeah. We were kind of stewing in our own juices for a little while in low rank, so...
Yeah, I will say that the game does not do a very good job of keeping you in a spot at a time. Now, that sounds weird, but my point is, there's no real incentive because you can get a good set and just move on. Like, you could probably beat low rank with the Kimura armor, and you could probably beat high rank with the high rank Kimura armor. But
that is true. Like, and they throw a lot of really good skills at you early on, with like Azuchi being a crit set, or like Arzuros just being like defense boost and having like a lot of really good slots on them. And so they just kind of throw pretty decent gear at you early on. So it's just it's not like you get to a monster like, oh, I gotta farm this. It's just like, I can keep going. This stuff's working.
Yeah, and that's not bad. I don't know. For me personally, I guess I'm also worried about content, because like it does seem, and again, we haven't beaten it yet, so I don't know. But maybe we might not be doing enough rampages. I don't know.
Possibly. I mean, I still haven't
unlocked
a confusing incentive. That is true. I still haven't unlocked a higher tier of melding, so I'm kind of holding off on doing rampages until we get like
unlocked a higher tier of melding.
Yeah, I still only have the red one. I'm looking for the green one and the blue one.
Oh, the red one. No, I thought you were saying you didn't get another level at all. I was like, no, I got another level. I got the red one.
No, I have the first two. I want the next two that come with that.
Yeah, I'm assuming the next rank is when we get to meld more.
Gotcha.
Because that's probably going to be the end game. Just melding talismans and making decorations.
Yeah, probably, and I feel like the Rampage system flows into that, but we'll touch on that later.
Yeah, while we're in Hub and Village, let's talk about monster roster and diversity.
Oh, good call.
Would you like me to start, or you want to go?
I started last time. You go ahead and start.
Alright. Yeah, it's the best monster hunters I've ever been with monster roster. I can't. It goes from giant rabbits to yetis to spiders to tiger samurais to like I don't even know what to call Kezu, and like it's just there's so many different things. There's not just wyvern,
bird, dog, bird.
You know, it's
bird,
like
dog.
No, and then there's like a wolf. There's like. And then Tigrex, it's like there's so many different monsters, and the gear variation is even better, but the monster roster is fantastic, especially ranging from difficulty. Because some monsters will be really easy, and some of them will be really hard. And as I brought up earlier, it also depends on the person. So the longevity of the game also depends on how difficult certain monsters are for certain people, and if they want to take the time to learn them. Because if you take the time to learn them, it'll probably take you quite a while. At least for me, it did.
Oh, absolutely. I know it may not be a particularly large monster roster, but like you said, the diversity is really, really good. Like you've got weapons with like high raw and bad affinity, or you've got weapons with good sharpness but medium raw, or you've got weapons that have like decent raw, decent sharpness with some slots. Like it has almost that Generations feel to it, where it's like, oh, there's a weapon for this, there's a weapon for that. It's just like
too many banana weapons, but yeah.
That is true. Well, of course, with a smaller roster, there's going to be gaps in, like, the niches of weaponry.
I don't even know what they did with World. Did they even do that, or was World just small?
Worlds, I'm just pulling off the top of my head, it was a lot of raw, and not too many good elemental-type weapons. I remember that being, like... I remember that feeling kind of strange. It's like, why are these ore weapons doing, like, better than these... Like the Kadachi, what's it? The Kadachi CB. I remember the Diablo CB just absolutely destroying it when it came to just raw AR. I'm just like, what is going on here?
Yeah, it was definitely weird, and I think Rise does it better. I do prefer how that's true raw, not inflated raw, personally, because then it helps gauge a weapon-to-weapon basis instead of just, just judging it inside the weapon type. But anyway, yeah, those are my impressions of Hub and Village and Monster Roster and stuff like that.
That's fair. That's fair.
Um,
And we want to go into talking about switch skills now.
yeah, switch skills and combat depth. Yeah.
All right, I'll start this one off. I don't play a whole lot of weapons in Rise yet. So far, I've mainly just been focusing in on switch axe, hammer, and sword and shield. I have been doing a little bit CB. I am enjoying what CB brings to the table. But like for switch axe is totally stacked. Like I didn't expect to have like this level of customization with the switch axe. Like having that new discharge, whatever it's called, where you just kind of do the straight up Demon Riot finisher, absolutely addicting. I can't stop doing it. And then that leads into like, okay, so I'll do the discharge, I'll get amp state, and then I can do my switch charger, and boom, I'm back in sword mode, and I'm just going nuts on the monster again. Absolutely fantastic. I love the way that it flows.
That was having full power prolonger later.
Right. No, I'm gonna enjoy that. And then hammer. Hammer is just, it's absolutely crazy. Like not only the fact does it have like two different like charge stancing, where you can go from doing the brave style charging, or you can just do like the standard switch charging from like, or with the new one that they just came up with as a substitute to like the power charging. That's actually really, it's really interesting. Like I mainly just use the regular, just the default charging, mainly because I love that Valor finisher, or was it just the Adept finisher, where it's like the double bonk, a level 3 charge. It's super good, moves you so far forwards, and it has a lot of vertical reach. Really satisfying. And sword and shield is just it's absolutely nuts. Like the amount that they give you for that weapon, it feels totally different, but it still feels familiar enough that like, you know, that you're not really alienated from the moveset. Like you could still calculate like, okay, I've got to be here and this is the range of that. So it's yeah, no, and I love that they kept Perfect Rush. Perfect Rush is so good. Like, oh my god.
It's you could say it's really good. Yeah.
It's almost perfect, yeah.
I wanted to make it, but I thought it'd be funnier if I did.
That's all right. I know you've been playing a lot of different weapon types. You want to just like, you know, go ahead and lavish me with all the weapon types you've been playing?
Yeah, all of them. But no, the game depth is insane when it comes to like reacting to a monster. So, yeah, gameplay depth is insane when it comes to reacting to the monster, using the wire bug for movement, like being in certain places, like your positioning, all that stuff. But then there's combos. The fact that you can choose with any weapon, in my opinion, you could choose simple movesets and play only simple, or you can make the most complicated setup that you want and then play that way and do all the funky positioning things and then react to doing certain kinds of things when the monster puts its head in a certain spot for like half a second, like I brought up earlier. Like it's insane. And like all the different things that they've added to certain weapons, like being able to stay in axe mode more often with charge blade, or like having more empowering the guard points for switching at the cost of speed it's just nuts. And then giving Lance the most insane mobility move I think I've ever seen in my life, and it's a counter. It's crazy. It's a toy box. It's just a big old toy box of fighting monsters and having fun. They don't want you to feel so challenged that you can't try new things. They want you to just jump in and play with all the toys. Just do whatever you want.
No, I absolutely agree.
It's easy to get into and difficult to learn. Go ahead.
I love that you can just go to the box, swap out your skill, and if you don't like it in a quest, you can just go back to the tent and be like, okay, I'm getting rid of this. I'm gonna go back to this. It's that level
for some reason I'm in the
customization.
GU mentality. I keep it the whole hunt, forgetting that I could do that.
Lols. I've only ever done that like once or twice. Like with hammer, I didn't like the valor charging as compared to the standard charging. It didn't flow right. So I was just like, okay, I'm getting rid of this. But yeah, like having that level of customization.
Is that the one where you? Is that the one skill for the hammer where you have to forge a couple hammers or whatever? Because we did the quest one and I didn't get that one.
No, that's the water blow, I believe.
The water blow is the one that you get for just crafting a bunch of hammers?
I think so. Because I remember doing the switch skill quest and I got the charge change, whatever it's called.
You sure? I thought we'll figure it out later.
Not 100% sure.
But if they brought back Valor charging, oh boy. Oh boy, I love
It's
Valor
insane,
Hammer.
and it still looks super stylish, and it's really fun. But it just, I
Is
don't
it like
it.
hunting horns? Oh, I gotta pick up hunting horn again. I haven't
Oh,
found
you
a hunting
do.
horn that I'm in love with yet, though, so that's the issue.
I've been trying to
I'll
make the
find one of
Vespoid
those and I'll
one,
split
and
it.
Vespoid materials are particularly hard to get a handle on.
You need Banabra?
Yeah, that's it.
That's quite hard in the game. Yeah.
No, they're not. Thank God. Anyway, I need bug mats. I need to squish some bugs.
Yeah, we'll have to do that later.
Yes,
But
please.
no, I'm gonna get me a fungus axe. I need that thing in my life.
Yes, and I also need that thing in your life.
No, it's gonna be so much fun.
Hell
So
yeah.
much fun. Okay.
You got like a favorite overall Switch skill?
Favorite Switch skill? Oh, that's hard. Can I just say yes? Can I just say yes?
Just if you could only pick one to have for the rest of your life, which one would it be?
Oh, well, I mean, of course, bias would be the spiral stab or whatever it's called. Terrible name, by the way. Absolutely terrible name. Because of just how much mobility it adds to the lance and how the counter ability as well. But can I say my overall point of why I think Switch skills in general are just amazing?
Sure.
It took what Gen did and made it more customizable, but it also didn't throw away those moves. Because for a lot of people, they didn't like the kookiness of Gen,
Right.
but a lot of people did, and a lot of people were sad that they couldn't do those moves anymore. And going back to Gen to do those moves is kind of sucks sometimes. 'Cause Gen doesn't have all the cool things that the new games have, right? It does not as fun to play because of certain limitations, or some people just don't jive with Gen as much.
That's
But it
true.
brought back all those fun things. Charge Blade gets its aerial style moves back. Sword and Shield gets its aerial style moves back. Dual Blades gets its aerial style moves back.
Gets its adept
It's
style
just-
attacks too.
Yes, and even gets a thing called Feral Demon Mode, which when you dodge, you do 2 hits.
Whoa.
It's insane. Yeah, it's really neat.
Damn. I'm just glad they brought back the Demon Riot finisher from Gen. That thing is disgusting and it's addictive and I love it so much. Although
It doesn't
it's
do too much
super
damage.
trippy. What?
Roughly 250 is not bad. Doesn't do too much damage either.
It is true. It's true. It's like because if you hit both, because you have to hit both, because there's one where you fire out the axe and then or fire out the sword, and then the axe swings back around. So I'm still figuring out how that hitbox works, but yeah, you can land both of those. It's just disgustingly satisfying.
Yeah, no, for real. What about you? Favorite Switch skill? Would it be the Switch X finisher?
It's the Switch X finisher. Although honorable mention to the sword and shield, that new jab thrust. That thing is so much fun. I love that a lot.
I'm gonna have to try it. I never got into Sword Dance though, so I wouldn't know.
That's fair. Well, I've always hated the shield bashing on Sword and Shield, but I love the B attacks. But I'd always end up doing the shield bashing on accident. Look, I don't like, oh, it's terrible and it should be gone. But no, it's just like, I want to just do the B attacks. I don't want to have to bash with my shield. But
That's
now I
fair.
get to bash
guess
with my
you'd-
shield and stab. It's awesome.
Wait, so you've never had the magical experience of a Rathian growling at you and you backhanding them at the end of your combo and then getting a knockout?
I have
Dang.
actually had that. I do knockouts with Sword
Oh,
and Shield all the
didn't make
time.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair
No,
enough.
I remember, what was it, when I was first playing Monster Hunter World, I remember, like, I stacked some Slugger on Sword and Shield, and I just went to a Pookie hunt. I was just like, I wonder if I could KO this thing. Those were the days.
Oh, dude, we haven't even talked about the possibility of what I'm gonna do later with a Slugger Stamina Thief build with Sword and Shield.
Oh,
It's
no.
just pure aerial style, nothing but falling bash and shield combo. I'm gonna tucker the shit out of a monster. It's gonna be so much
Metsu
fun.
Shiryugeki.
Oh, I haven't even. Oh, and that one's a counter too.
It is.
But no. Do we want to talk about some of the other new stuff? We already touched upon the Switch skills.
What do you have in
We can
mind?
talk about. Let's talk about the wire bug and the new
Sure.
newfound mobility.
I'm surprised we haven't gotten into that yet. Go right ahead and lead us in, Benny.
I like being Spider-Man. But no. It's,
Spider-Man does whatever
how
a
it's
spider
limited.
can.
you can't just fly. That's one thing I like a lot. It's not just about like I can fly now. Whee! No, it's it works into the combat as well, but it just I don't know, it makes it feel like a place more instead of just being like, ah, look at that cool mountain, can't go up there, or whatever.
Right?
But like, I'm not gonna say if you can look at it, you can go there because you can't. But most of the map, if it's in the barrier, you can climb it,
And I love
and it's
that.
just
I love that so
it's
much.
so nice.
And like, have you ever just like gone into a harvest tour and just explored?
Yes.
It's so much fun. Like, it's ridiculously fun. Like, I thought just wandering around in Ghost of Tsushima was fun, but that ain't got shit on Rise. Like, oh my god, it's just something so satisfying about being like, I can climb here, I can soar over here, I'm a bird, man.
No, it's just fantastic. And I would say like, oh, the wire bug moves thing is like new. That's just arts. I'm sorry, that's not really new. That's just arts.
Yeah,
You know,
but
it's just a way
they're
to tie in mobility with the combat.
exactly no, and that's something that's so surprisingly satisfying is being able not only to move, but also being able to come at the monster in 3 dimensions, like being able to come down from the top.
Or get away quickly as well.
That is true. That is also true. Yeah, being like, also just being able to ride a dog and sharpen your weapon. That's really nice. I like that.
Oh, and then how it ties into good segue, Ben. Wyvern riding.
Oh hell yeah.
No, it's not as intrusive as it was in the demo. Things just aren't immediately wyvern rideable, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, unless another monster shows up, but at that point you're just making a manual turf war. But still.
I feel like the only time something became immediately wyvern rideable was when I was spamming wire falls with the hammer and getting the falling bashes. Then Edgeneth became wyvern rideable really quickly.
I think I noticed something, by the way.
Yeah.
If the monster is not the main monster that you're hunting, a wire bug move or aerial attacks seem to make them wyvern rideable almost instantaneously.
I could see them doing that for a balance sense, because like it wouldn't be any fun if you just like, oh look, a Rathian, and you did like 2 wirebug attacks on it and it was wyvern rideable, and just like, well now what do? I guess I bash it into a wall. That's not very
Yeah,
fun.
I was doing a Diablos hunt to get my greatsword, and there was a Tyrex on the map, and I was like, oh hell yeah! And I went and I did a couple mounting attacks, and he was rideable, and I made him to fight like little
Nice.
action figures on my floor. It was really fun, but no, it's just it took mounting and actually added in like a way to use it as a weapon, I guess. It's really goofy as hell though.
It is, but that's also just so Monster Hunter.
It's definitely portable, that's for sure. The portable, it's got the goofiness of the portable monster hunters. Because like, you ever just like pay attention to the animations of when you do the quick dodge? The monster's just like, like it's just
Right?
they
It's
just
just like,
flail, and it's
I've been yoinked.
no, it's hilarious. It's really stupid fun, and I wouldn't say it's objectively better than mounting, but it's way less boring. And that's the problem mounting had before. It was just stabbing and waiting. That was it. This game
Pretty
was like an
much.
event. I gotta see someone make a Tigrex chuck boulders into Diablos. That's exciting.
Right? No, it's just, I don't know, we were, when Rise was first announced, I remember we were like musing about like, oh man, what are they gonna do to mounts? What's gonna happen to the airborne skill? But now it's like, once we know what rival riding is, it's just like, I don't know, it's almost addictive in a way, like, because I remember like mounting was super satisfying in 4 Ultimate, so like, oh, I got the monster, and now it's down, now everybody can wail on it. But like with wyvern riding, it's just like you get to use another monster to make the other monster downable, and then like vice versa.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. And
No,
then
it
the
really
sub
is.
game, so the sub game mode that one of us has not done a ton of. I'll say that. Because every time I ask, someone just go, why didn't you farm this? Why didn't you
Well,
farm
look,
that?"
man, I've got gear and mats to farm. Don't start your shit with me.
I know.
Look, we'll get into it. We'll get into it. I promise.
But how do you feel about Rampage?
I actually really like Rampage. The ballista feels really, really good because I love my ballistas, especially in was it in the Laotian what is it? Is that a raid? What do we call those?
I would call that like Traditional siege.
Siege, that's it. The Lao Shun Siege. I love the ballista. Like, I remember the first time I fought Darren Moran, I was just like, fuck those cannons. I'm firing the ballista. But no, right. And then you get to World, and the ballistas are just like, oh my god, they're automatic. Those crazy fuckers finally did it. But then you get to Rise, and you get to a Rampage, and then your fortress levels up a couple times. You're just like, oh, this is a damn machine gun, because it's firing like 5-10 bolts at a time. You can knock monsters out with a crag shot. You can make them fall out of the air with the retreat shots. It's so good, and it feels so good. Like, it really does.
No, it ties into the gameplay loop pretty well too. I feel like it's meant to be a break from the hunting. Like, if I did a ton of Rampages, I'd probably get really tired.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'd probably just be like, I just want to go one-on-one with the monster. Yeah.
But that Apex Raytheon though, like, oh my god.
Yeah. That actually is a big problem for me, personally.
Oh yeah.
And again, I haven't beaten the game yet. I don't know.
Nobody knows.
Change later.
Yep.
You could also add them later to be normal.
This is true.
But also, we haven't seen an Elder Dragon yet. It'll be interesting when we see one of those.
I am very curious if there are Elder Dragons in this game, because very rarely is. Actually, no. Most of the time, it is reserved for like the last couple ranks, isn't it?
Yes, we haven't seen the final rank. We know obviously there's going to be an Elder Dragon, unless it's an Altalka style fight where it's not an Elder, but it's an Elder level monster. Right. That's still going to happen, and we know that because spoilers, but we don't know what the monster is. But still. No, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I won't be heartbroken, but I'll be a little sour because I'd love to see like a toaster or a toaster.
Don't say Kushala. For the love of God, don't say Kushala. I said
or a toaster. Oh my god, he might be fun now.
He might actually be fun. Also considering that like Windproof is a level 3 skill now, and it may actually like let us not get knocked back by him because there's that stupid set bonus isn't in the game anymore.
That we know of. Yeah, no, I don't know. The Rampage is it's great. It's a really fun side project, but you definitely don't want to do it too much, in my opinion.
Oh fuck no.
Also, the feel of it is really cool too, with how like all the defender stuff. Like if you look, those guys aren't warriors. They're wearing like farming armor. They're wearing farming clothes.
Yeah, they're just like villagers, man.
They're just people from the village. Yeah. It makes it feel like a desperate effort, and I like that. Also, I've never lost a Rampage, but oh my god, do I feel like I've almost lost all of them.
Right? I know, I love that. It's so intense. Just like shit's exploding, everything's coming out of everywhere. You're just like, we gotta stop this damn thing.
And then the Rampage, the Apex music starts playing, and it's like, oh my god. It's literally panic-inducing sometimes.
Quick, discombobulate it, quick.
She broke my platform. I don't have any ballistas. But no, it's oh my god. Oh no, yeah. That's at least how I overall for like everything over Rise. From what you played so far, you don't have to give it a numerical rating, but give it a way to sum up how you feel about it in total from what you played.
It's almost got 4 Ultimate licked. It's almost got it licked.
Damn.
It's that good. Like,
oh, did you see that thing with Gaijin Hunter? It's got his. It's missing one thing from his bingo, but it had almost the entirety of his bingo.
Oh, did he get a bingo then?
Yeah.
Oh fuck yeah. What was missing?
Right? I don't remember. I think it was something that was just kind of there, but kind of not. So it was like a half thing.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, the only thing that Komura is missing needs to have a fishing spot in the village. If it had that,
agreed.
It beat 4 Ultimate. Because in Dumora, you can fish off the pier.
Yeah. I'd say you could like stand on the nets too, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, other than that, like I love the Kahoot nest. I love having like a little place to just go up to and yoink stuff and then head back. There's something just weirdly satisfying about it. It gives me joy every single time I hop up to that nest.
Yeah, I always wonder if the Kahoot is like, oh man, I did a really good steal today, and he like wakes up from his nap and he's like, oh come on!
Where does my loot keep going? Or it's like on the other side of that, it's just like, wait a minute, Those Lagny apples look familiar. Hunter, where did you get those?
I bought those with my savings.
I found them.
See, I stole them back from the Kahoot, so they're mine now. Oh, I'm ruined.
Wait a minute. Those platinum eggs. They've got my name on them. They're mine
Look
now.
at that. Sold.
Oops.
Sorry, mark that down for engraved silver eggs. But no, yeah, I'm going to give it a numerical rating, even though I know that's outdated. But for
Go
me,
for
it
it.
just helps me sum up my personal feelings. I'm not comparing it to anything else.
Mhm.
Although it's better than World in every single way. But
Damn.
oh, it's just that, like, people get salty when you say stuff like that. But I feel like with sequels, that's don't you want that to be the case?
No, I'd be disappointed if it wasn't. In all honesty.
Yes,
like,
but also totally fair if you don't like it as much as World. Like,
no, World's
games
good.
are like that.
World is good. I do really like World, but no,
I don't like World anymore as a base game though. But
that's also fair. I mean, there are certain things about World I do like. Is like having like a bunch of people in like the lobby, and you'd be like, okay, cool, we got a team doing this, we got guys doing that. You can go to the guiding lands and just hunt forever. That's really good.
Yeah, but at the moment, again, without beating it, 9.5 for me. 9.5 out of 10.
Nice. Nice.
Personally.
Anything
also,
in particular?
I think it's my favorite monster. That I want to.
No, anything in particular that gives it a 9.5. Like just one standout trait.
The monsters. The monsters have the most personality they've ever had. Rathalos, in my opinion, is now the best thing ever. I think he's the most fun flying wyvern to fight in the game. And just the way that he has like new, like I said the other day, like he has aerial moves, but he doesn't do them. He doesn't spam them too much to where it's annoying. He has fun ground moves, but he doesn't spam them too much to where they're annoying. He has good fire and ranged moves, but he doesn't spam them too much to where it gets annoying. He always comes and fights you. He doesn't fly up in the air or anything. Like they gave him that stupid pin from Gen in like the older games, right? But if he misses and you dodge through it, he does a weeb pose at the end, and you can hit him during that. You know, like he doesn't just fly back up into the stratosphere and be safe for another minute. It's just, oh my god, the way they changed monsters it's so good. Like I mean, they only tweaked Floppy a little bit, or Bizarrios, sorry, and it's such a good job.
I do really love fighting Bizarrios. I need to farm up his gear. I want to farm up like his full gear and his weapon. I don't want to just run around with it for like two or 3 days. Floppy gang, yep.
I really want people to take that out of context.
Please do.
But no, yeah, I guess that's our overall opinions on Rise.
Yeah, so far.
Yeah, all right. You want to close this out?
Sure. I've been Deluge. That other guy's Benny. You can follow me on Twitter. Hey. You can follow Benny on Twitter, but don't. I stream and stuff. You can find me on Twitch. Yeah. I think that's our little Rise cast.
Alright. See ya.
Adios, amigos.